Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am humbled to rise today to introduce my constituent, Steve Nakui, the Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui, who was killed in action on August 26, 2021, amid the United States withdrawal from Afghanistan. At 5:50 p.m., an ISIS-K suicide bomber detonated an explosive device in the Hamid Karzai International Airport. 13 brave service members, including Lance Corporal Nakui, lost their lives that day, along with over 150 civilians. 4 of the 13 were from the state of California. Lance Corporal Nakui, who hailed from Norco, joined the Marines right after high school, driven by a deep sense of patriotism and a desire to serve his country. His family, friends, and community remember him as a dedicated and selfless individual, always willing to help others. He was known for his commitment to the Marine Corps and his fellow Marines. Lance Corporal Nakui should be here with us today. We mourn the loss of your son with you, and his service and dedication will never be forgotten. The disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan is a sobering reminder of the human cost of policy failures. Rather than accept responsibility for the manner in which this withdrawal was executed, our government sought to deflect responsibility by claiming to have located and neutralizing the terrorists responsible for the attack. Instead, it was a botched U.S. military drone strike that hit a car filled with innocent family members. They killed 7 children that day. It was shameful, and no one has been held accountable. Today, we rise to honor the bravery, compassion, and patriotism that Lance Corporal Nakui embodied. Just hours before the bombing, Lance Corporal Nakui sent a video to his family of his interactions with the Afghan civilians. In one video, he spoke to a little young boy, and he asked him if he wanted to take a video together. Leaning in to take the video, he said, "All right, now we are heroes." Those were his last words to his family members. He lived as a hero, and he died a hero. Please join me in honoring his memory and welcome Kareem's father, Steve Nakui, to our state capitol.
Thank you, Mr. Asaley. Thank you, Mr. Nakui, for being here. We all mourn the loss of a hero. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. Prior to Memorial Day in May, I had the honor and privilege of welcoming the family of Sergeant Nicole G. during the presentation of ACR, Assembly Concurrent Resolution, to name a highway after her. She also tragically lost her life on August 26, 2021, during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Sergeant G's family was here during that time, and I remember it very, very closely. It's ingrained in my head when the entire chamber stood and the recognition that they gave her family members at that time and the honor. I've never felt anything like that at that moment, and we're very appreciative of it. And I'm very pleased to report that ACR has passed both houses of the legislature, and we now officially have a highway named after Sergeant G, and we're looking forward to putting the sign in the near future. She will always be remembered for her bravery and sacrifice, her kindness, love, dedication, and obviously the unfortunate loss, the service to her country. And I still can't get over, I mean, you have all seen it, the picture of her holding the young child with the caption, "I love my job." And that's ingrained in my head forever. Members, I ask you that you welcome my very special guests. We've become friends, and I'm always looking to help them however I can. And so I'd like to recognize Nicole's sister, Misty Foco, who's been here before, Rosemary Bierke, who's Nicole's grandmother, and Jackie Heinen, who's Nicole's great aunt. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, we're honored to welcome two distinguished guests, Alicia and Herman Lopez, both Riverside County Sheriff's deputies. They're the proud parents of Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, a remarkable young man who at just 22 was killed tragically during the evacuation in Afghanistan at the Kabul airport 3 years ago. Hunter's passion for service led him to join the Marine Corps Fleet Anti-Terrorism Team after his 2017 graduation from La Quinta High School. His plan for after his Marine Corps service was to follow Alicia and Herman's footsteps and become a deputy sheriff when his service was complete. In fact, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco recognized Hunter posthumously by naming him an honorary deputy. And now every Riverside County Sheriff's deputy has an American flag on their uniform in his memory. I'd like to welcome Alicia and Herman to the Assembly floor and express our deepest gratitude to them and all of California's Gold Star families for the sacrifice they made in the cause of freedom. We honor the memory of Corporal Hunter Lopez and will never forget the price he paid for our freedom. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace, and welcome to your guests.